The question is, who and who are the real biblical Israelites today? Well, I'm going to take time and go through that because most of us don't know, but we have to use the history and you have to use the Bible. You do. The Europeans made 500 treaties, 1,000 treaties with the Indians. Broken promises on display at Native American treaties inhabited. So we have to understand who fit the curses in the Bible. Who are the real biblical Israelites today? For centuries, treaties have defined the relationship between many Native American nations and the U.S. More than 370 rectified treaties have helped the U.S. explain its territory and led many broken promises made to the American Indians. It was many broken promises. It was over 370 uh, rectified treaties have helped the U.S. explain its territory and led to many broken promises made to the American Indian. Now, let's establish, what is a treaty? We need to know what that is. What is a treaty? Hold on. What is a treaty? Here's the definition of treaty. A formally ratified agreement between countries. A treaty is something that deals with an agreement, statement, entry, concreted, concorded, accord, convenient, contract. It was a contract. A treaty is an agreement under international law, entreated into by the actions in international law, namely the sovereign, states and international organization. A treaty may also be known as an agreement, a convenient, convicting, pass, or exchange of letters amongst other terms. This is something that deals with an agreement that the American people, I mean, not the American, but the Europeans tricked the Indians. Now, the next question would be, did the Europeans shed a lot of innocent blood and killed a lot of the Native Americans? Yes, they did. Now, the next thing, why is it that a lot of people ignore? Why is it that when I say a lot of people, I'm talking about our people is brainwashed and they just accept and believe anything that their oppressors tell them. They defend their oppressors. A lot of our people don't want to learn nothing about their history. You got people that will spend hours and hours and hours and hours arguing with you over some facts that they can go look up themselves that you're telling them to go look up. They making all these treaties, and this is how they trick the Indians. What does celebrating Thanksgiving mean? Okay, it says Thanksgiving is a national holiday in the United States, so-called Babylon. The United States is white supremacy. Y'all know that. The celebrating of the fourth Thursday on November. It originated as a harvest festival, the event that Americans commonly call the first Thanksgiving was celebrated by the Pilgrims after their first harvest in the New World in October 1621. But they ain't telling you exactly what happened. They're not gonna tell you all of that. But they came over, they celebrate Thanksgiving commemorating the slaughter of the indigenous Indians of the indigenous American so-called American Indians, which are the real Jews. That's what they're doing. What is the point of Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving French actions occur on the second Monday in October is candidated holiday to giving thanks at the cause of the harvest section. Although the original act of pyramid references God, holy, the holiday is celebrated in churches, and the holiday is mostly celebrated in a secular manner. That means that when you celebrate Thanksgiving, you're celebrating the killing and the slaughter of your own people. Each turkey you feast off of, that represents the body of the native Indian, the indigenous Indians that was killed, which is our people. That's what you celebrate. You're celebrating the killing of your own people. That's what you're doing. It is what it is. I don't care what y'all say. That is what it is. Thanksgiving Day, as celebrated in North America, is a time to gather with family and friends to give thanks for the many blessings. Now they put many blessings in here. They a lie. See, white folks, that's what they call it. They'll tell you Thanksgiving is all about giving thanks to God. Thanksgiving ain't nothing but white supremacy. It's a man-made holiday. Most of us don't even know why we celebrate Thanksgiving. But you ain't gonna find me celebrating nothing like that, and I don't know what it is. I already know what it is. And the cranberry sauce represents the bloodshed of the native Indians that the Europeans shed, and that's what you eat. And y'all ignorant for eating that. Now I'm not calling y'all stupid, but you acting stupid. But really, the Bible calls you stupid when you turn around and you celebrate something and you know what it is, and even when you find out the truth about it, you still go and celebrate it. I don't know why our people don't want to hear nothing about their history. They don't want to hear nothing about their history. They had two people talking about, two ladies talking about they praying for me. Yeah, they said, "Oh, I'm praying for you." No, I said, no, I don't mind. Okay, if you want to pray for me, fine. That's what I was thinking to myself. If you want to pray for me, fine. But the best thing you can do for me is do some research. You see what I'm saying? If you want to pray for me, pray that you get an understanding of whatever it is that you're confronted with. That's what you can do. When did the Indians make 500 treaties with the native Indians? See, they ain't gonna pull up too much like that. All they saying is treaties made, treaties broken. And see, that's what white folks do. Kelly wrote that colonizing created the condition of poverty on many American Indian reservations today. Many Americans have misconceptions that poverty should not exist on because native people's basic needs are taken care of under treaties. Over 500 treaties were made with American Indian tribe for for land, primarily for land. See, that's what they did. They came over here and did it for land. But 500 treaties were also broken, changed, or nullified when it started the government's interest. The video below about policies toward the okay, let me just skip blank. Given many examples of this, and the practice was not limited to tribes in the plans, it is also true that some tribes have no treaties, and many tribes remain unrecognized as tribes by the federal government. This leaves them without reservation, trust trust land and federal program. The fact is that many Native American people are suffering, and we should all care about that. Okay, one lady wrote, it was a white woman. I don't know how to say her name. I'm sorry about that, people, but I'm going to say it right. I am writing a history paper on the American Indian. It has been a real eye opener to me on just how badly they were treated. And not only were they treated, it's like how we being treated today. Hold on. They got a video here. Or it's 15 minutes and something. Who tricked the indigenous people and gave 500 treaties? Two-spirit is modern pain Indian umbrella term used by some indigenous WHILE, while most people mistakenly associate the term with native terms. Okay, let's look at Michael A. History of the United States. What does 500 years? Okay, hold on. The American rights presents homosexuality as something alien to the American experience, and that unexpectedly hold on, wait a minute. Let me. Yeah, they came in and they made 500 treaties, and they did it all for the gain of land, money, everything. This is how a lot of people, when the white folks, you really got to watch them. You can't trust them. The same thing that they did to the indigenous people is the same thing that they're doing today. Okay, yeah. From what I can't understand, why is it that people, no matter how much you show them, they still not gonna adhere to what you're saying? You show it to them in the Bible, they're gonna say you're religious. That's why I don't even deal with religion. I don't. But you just have to say. That's why I use the only the denominate. Or some people may ask me, "What denomination you part of?" I'm part of research. That's my denomination. Yeah. So I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit later. All right, people. I'm out.